but they went to this link, which doesn't go to PayPal. It'll go to another website. They may have the PayPal logo and all. It'll look just like PayPal, and it'll have the username and password there to log into. So, you know, if you get an email from Wells Fargo or PayPal or any of those accounts, eBay, Craigslist, whatever it is, they say, you know, oh, you must go to your account or you can't use it anymore. Click this link. So you go there and you put your username and password in, and now they have your username and password. So now they have your account. And that happens on a lot of people's AT&T accounts. I get a lot of people that they say their AT&T email got hacked. And a lot of times, I mean, it could be that AT&T had a problem and they stole all the accounts or whatever, but a lot of times it's a phishing email that somebody clicked on and put their username in there. What happens is these people steal your email account and then they start sending spam and viruses and stuff to all your friends. So if you have that problem, you want to immediately go in and change your password to AT&T, your email. Let's see, I'll show another one here. So here's another one. This, I did my taxes the year, and then all of a sudden I get this email from Department of Treasury, Internal Revenue Service. Actually, it says Internal Revenue Source. They said they couldn't process my tax return, and they have a little IRS document.zip. And if I double click on that, that's going to open a virus. I just know it. Because for one, this, if you read it, we received your tax return. However, we are unable to process the return as field. Does that make sense? It says, our records indicate that the person identified us. The primary, they forgot to translate that from whatever language that is. But anyway, so I knew that was a bogus thing, but it kind of shocked me at first, right? And they play on that. You know, you might be waiting for a package and you get something from UPS or FedEx, and there's that attachment. You've got to open this because it's not going to be able to be delivered. You don't know what your address is. So you double click that, boom, you get the FedEx virus. So I would just go to FedEx and put your tracking number in there instead of clicking on that. Especially attachments. And the thing is, .zip, that's a compressed file. So a lot of times your antiviruses won't, or programs won't find it because it's not there. It's just called document.zip. So it's not a virus until you open it, and it releases it. So the other thing I'd like to do real quick too is a lot of times what's great about PC is there's a lot of free programs out there on the internet, and that's where a lot of people get in trouble. So even Java, when you update Java, it'll ask you, I mean, it's not going to hurt you, but it's got little check marks here that says change my default search to ask, and set ask as my home page. So a lot of people will come in and they don't know what happened to their home page. It's because these little check marks. It says see, it's going to install that little bar on my browser, and it's also going to change my search engine and my home page. So all you have to do is uncheck those before you say next, and you won't get the extra stuff on there. And you still get the job. And some of them will deceive you more. This is an easy one, but the programs get harder. Like this one, this is installing CD burner. A lot of times if you try to do like video converters and things like that, they come with a lot of junk. And you don't want any of these speed up my PC stuff. But see, he's trying to set up CD burner, and it's gonna, if you just accept the first default, it's gonna put on that speed up my PC thing, and then you'll have this thing popping up all the time, doing scams and saying you need to buy something to fix your computer. So you want to look at those check marks. And then here's another one. This is CD burner also. It's going to install Open Candy. And it looks like you have to accept the agreement and then go next. But really, you can say, I do not accept the agreement and say next. Because it's just saying it's going to also install that, which you don't want. And then here's the real tricky one. This one says decline is all grayed out, and it doesn't have that circle on it. That's just to show. But it says agree, and everybody just thinks, oh, I got to agree. And sometimes you're agreeing like 3 times. And it's because they're installing, this is called block and surf. That's some other program that you don't want. And really just say decline, and another one might come up and say decline until it says whatever you're trying to download. If you're trying to download the video converter, you don't want some browser thing with it. And then here's one that's like even getting more just tough to do. So really you don't want to do the express installs anymore. It used to be they'd say express install and advanced. And if you were advanced and you wanted to put it in a different spot or change the way it worked, you'd do the advanced. And express was fine, it would just put it in the default spots. But now the express is usually going to put a bunch of garbage on your computer. So you really have to be a little bit smarter nowadays and do a custom and then uncheck all these things. Because it's going to install IOBit apps toolbar and another extension called Spigot and change your homepage to Yahoo. And you might have MSN there. And then it's also going to put the savings things. I see a lot of those savings, click savings, and eBay and Amazon assistance. Those things, like if you go to Amazon and you're looking for something, you get little pop-ups saying, oh, here's a better deal over here and all that. And so you really want to, you have to just uncheck all that stuff. And finally on this, when you go to download things, this is actually an ad. So there's a lot of big green download buttons that are ads. Because once in a while it's the program you want, but a lot of times it's an ad. And sometimes there's 3 or 4 of them all over the web page. So you really have to look. What I do is I hover over it, and it'll say like Google ad plus whatever, and you can tell it's an ad. Let me just show you. And of course the ads change, and then like there's one there. Download here. So what is that? We don't even know. If I put my arrow over it, I can see it in my bar. So it's Google Leads. Double click. So that's it's going to go to that whoever's doing that ad, and we don't even know what it is. But one of the things you can do if you want to install things, I got a really neat thing you can bring home today. It's free. It's called ninite.com. If you go here, it's N-I-N-I-T-E. And this is a really great program. Not too many people know about it. But these are all programs a lot of people install on their computer. And what it does is you can just click on these. Like if I want Chrome browser, and I want Skype, and I want iTunes, I just click what I want, Java, Picasa, you can do that. And then all you do is click on Get Installer, and it'll install all those programs without all the bars and all the junkware and all the other stuff, toolbars. And it also, if you already have those programs, you can still click on them and it updates. If it's already updated, it won't install. And it won't ask you all the questions. It already unchecks everything, all the junk, and installs all that stuff for you. This is ninite.com, N-I-N-I-T-E.com. And it's really cool. So if I clicked Get Installer, all it's going to do is say run, and you go ahead and just run it. And it's going to go through and install all the ones I checked.
some things you think you might want it, you don't want it, and it takes over. You can't get rid of it. You can't get it off your computer. Is there a way to?
Yeah, we get them all the malware and all that off in our shop. There's a lot of the programs. A lot of times people bring us programs or computers that have all these malware on there, but a lot of them you can actually just uninstall from the control panel. If you go to, in XP it's add remove programs, but in Windows 7 it's programs and features. And here's all the programs that are on your computer. And what I do is go to installed on, like if I think something just happened, and I'll go to the latest date, just click here, and it'll show me what I just installed in Java. But yeah, some of them are actually viruses.
Get on the page, I mean, it just relinquish the page. You can't do it.
Right. Well, some of them take over your computer because they're actual viruses, not just you know, like spyware or adware. And those are a little more trouble to get off. Sometimes you have to boot to safe mode and run a scan, and then go back into Windows and run another scan. And a lot of times, if you already have your antivirus program, if you get the virus, usually that antivirus program is not working anymore. It disables that. It disables your task manager, all your system programs.
Because I'm using Microsoft. In fact, that was one of the things when I switched, I wouldn't pay anymore for it. They wouldn't pay. I mean, every time I turn on a computer, I'm getting bombarded by the...
Yeah, you have to uninstall the other ones first before you put the new one on. Okay.
Mark, is a system restorer a good option in that case if you installed something that you didn't want to or you find out?
Systems restore is kind of a dramatic thing to do. I mean, it's taken a... It'll take you back to a different part in time, but if you have a real virus on there, usually it corrupts that. So it corrupts the system restore, so you can't do it. But if it's just a setting, you know, say you were messing with the settings and now your internet doesn't work, you could do system restore, not system recovery, but system restore.
So I talked to you the other day about bringing my computer in so that you could do kind of a diagnostic, check it out, like an examination, like a computer examination. In that examination, would it also look for viruses?
No, there's a, no, that would take another scan. We do what she's talking about is a hardware diagnostics, where we have professional software that before the computer starts, it runs the software and it checks all the hardware. So it'll check the RAM, and check the hard drive, check the motherboard, everything, all the components on a computer, just to make sure that those are working before you try to upgrade or whatever.
And for a very, what I thought was a really reasonable price.
Yeah, for $30 we'll do that hardware check for you, and that way too, like sometimes people will say, well, is it worth upgrading this computer, an older computer? If we do that test and we find that the hard drive's going out, then we'll say, well, you need another $75 for a hard drive plus the labor for that, so it may not be worth it. Okay, so you can go. If you have any questions, you can ask me a question, or you're welcome to leave. About
Sorry. So,
I think it just runs in the...
yeah, well, I'm trying to keep on a schedule because they do have to do some more cleaning up and stuff here. So if you guys want to come up and talk to him, the other thing is he's available at Lake County Websites and Computer Repair, which is right across the street from Mugshots, right next door to Boar's Breath. He answers the phone. He does workshops, you know, so that are more in depth. He does a workshop
How
on
did we
this.
find out about his workshop?
You get on his email list, and he'll let you know when the next workshop is and what it's about. And those are 2 hours long, so you get a lot deeper than this. We just couldn't go that deep today.
I also have some business cards if you want to take one. If you email me, I can put you on the workshop list if you like.
So thank you very much for coming, and thank you, Mark.